Good morning, Miss. I am Okta and I am here with my group members Jessie and Jessica from S2A. Now we are going to do our presentation about dbScan. First, this is the definition of dbScan, which stands for Density-Based Spatial Clustering of Application with Noise. It's a way for a computer to automatically identify cluster data points that are packed closely together and marks points that lie alone as outliers. That makes this algorithm different from other clustering methods is dbScan can identify points that do not belong to any cluster as outliers. Not like k-means and hierarchical clustering that force all data points into a cluster even if they don't really fit. And next, what is the use of this dbScan? First, it can find groups. It puts nearby points into the same group called a cluster and separates points that are far away called outliers. Second, it can detect outliers. It can find and mark points that do not belong to any group, which is useful for messy data. Third, no need to choose number of groups. You don't have to tell dbScan how many groups you have to make. It can figure it out by itself. And last but not least, it can work with any shape. It can find groups that are round, long, or any other shape. And next is how it works. First, prepare data points in the form of graph. Second, decide the parameter of the core points that can fit into 4 or more other close points. Third, the system will identify all the core points and the non-core points. Non-core points are the core points that close with less than 4 points. Fourth, the system will randomly pick one core point, then assign it as the first cluster as well as the close points of the core point. Fifth, the other core points that are close with the first cluster will join with the cluster as well as the non-core points. Last but not least, expand that cluster and repeat it to make other cluster.
So I will explain about the graph. In the first picture, here is an example of data that we will cluster it by using the dbScan method. So first, we choose a random core point that is a red point based on the second picture. Then we decide the parameter of the core points that will overlap 4 or more close points. The parameter is the orange circle. Still in the second picture, like what my friend explained before, the points that overlap 4 or more close points are called core points. Meanwhile, the points that overlap less than 4 close points are called non-core points. Next, the third picture shows all the core points that have overlapped 4 or more close points. Core points are the red points. Now, in the fourth picture, random core points will be chosen as the first cluster. Then, core points that are close to the first cluster will also join the first cluster. This will extend to all the core points that are close by. All of them will be assigned as the green points, which is the first cluster. After that, we see in the fifth picture, the black points are the non-core points that will also join the first cluster. This is because they are close to the first cluster. Last but not least, in the sixth picture, we also use the same method to form the second cluster, which is the blue points. The non-core point here didn't join the first cluster because at first it was closer to the non-core points and not to the first cluster. And the rest of non-core points that are far away from the first cluster and second cluster are called outliers.
Next, there are 6 types of dbScan. First, HDBScan, hierarchical dbScan. So we use this type when your data has mixed density clusters, one tight cluster and one loose spread out cluster. Second, GDBScan, generalized dbScan. This is useful for non-standard data types such as text and time series. Third, VDBScan, varied density dbScan. This is used for varying density of clusters, more accurate than the original one. Fourth, optics, ordering points to identify the clustering structure. This is a density-based clustering algorithm that builds on dbScan, but can detect clusters of varying density. Spatiotemporal dbScan. This is frequently used in moving object tracking and adds the time dimension to spatial dbScan. 6. dbScan++, accelerated dbScan. This is an optimized version using spatial indexing and often used in big data systems or machine learning pipelines. Next, the advantages of using dbScan. First, you don't need to say how many groups you want. dbScan can figure out the number of groups or clusters by itself. You do not have to tell it. Second, it can find oddly shaped groups. It is good at finding groups that are not round like curve shapes. Third, it can find outliers. It can spot data points that don't belong to any group, called outliers. Fourth, works well with large data if you set it
Fifth,
up right.
STDBScan.
It can handle a lot of data if you use the right tools. Now the disadvantages. First, doesn't work well with different group sizes. If some groups are dense and others are spread out, DBScan might get confused. Second, sensitive to settings. If the settings is wrong, the results won't be good. Third, not great for data with too many features, columns. In high dimensional data, or the data that has too many columns, it may not work well. Last, not ideal for small or very spread out data. It may think many points are just outliers if the data isn't dense enough. So there's an example in daily life of using DBScan. The city collects GPS data from smartphones with user consent. Each data point represents a person's location at a given time. DBScan groups these data points into dense regions or clusters that represent popular hangout spots such as parks, caves, or bus stations. It also can identify outliers like people walking alone or in rarely visited areas. That's it, our presentation, Miss. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you. Goodbye.